I feel like this was their answer to all of the questions of why didn't Shinji use his Bankais during the Thousand-Year Blood War arc. His Bankai is called Sakashima Yokoshima Hapofusagari and it is a real head trip of a Bankai. Let me now explain its abilities. Ability 1. It has the power to turn good people evil and evil people good. Ability 2. It can turn enemies into allies and allies into enemies. Basically it inverses a person's personality and alignment. Ability 3. The flower petals that come off of this Bankai can be used to protect Shinji. This will become very important later to why it does this. Now I know what you're thinking. Why does this Bankai not get any use if it has such a useful ability? And that's because it has very bad drawbacks. Drawback 1. Shinji cannot step out of the circle, otherwise the Bankai's ability automatically ends. This is why the flower petals come up as defensive barriers to protect him while he's keeping the Bankai in effect. Drawback 2. Drawback 2 is basically abilities 1 and 2, and why would that be a bad thing? Why is it a bad thing to turn your enemies into allies? Well, let me tell you right now why it's a bad thing. Because according to Shinji himself, you need to have two separate groups of people in order for this to work. Meaning, while you could turn your enemies into allies, it also turns the people that are on your side into enemies. Why this is bad? Because it doesn't work as a group changing. It's basically each and every single individual person you affected with this becomes your ally against everyone else, causing them to go into a rage and kill the people that were once their allies. Meaning they'll just have a giant mass genocide, which would be good if you were just using on your enemies. But you have to remember this Bankai only works if they have two groups, because Shinji himself has said, it's useless in one-on-one combat. Meaning basically you will have your enemies over there mercilessly slaughtering each other, but at the same time your allies will be doing the same thing to each other, all the while you're safely protected inside of your little magic circle. I think I know where Kubo was going with this Shinji powers. Cause him to inverse everything, so his sword is naturally an inverse as well. The Bankai is weaker than the Shikai. Or more accurately, the Shikai is more useful than the Bankai. It's the inverse of what a Zanpakuto normally is.